Epstein was dead. He was dead. Then we had COVID. Then from COVID, we went to election. They claimed Trump lost. The Democrats took over in 2021. If anything, Miss Fuller Crock, every last one of you should have been lost your seats because you did nothing about it. But now you're outraged today? Now you're outraged. They talk to you people like you're stupid, like you cannot go and find out what was happening. Welcome to the TMYK show. I am Mike, your host, better known as Mo. Here is where you get the truth uncut. Today, I'm going to be dealing with Miss Jasmine Crockett, as well as, do you all know that there's 300,000 immigrants that are minors that are missing and are unaccounted for? I'm just going to read some things for you, just so you could be aware, because I speak to people all the time, and I ask them, do they know that there is 300,000 unaccompanied minors who came into this country as immigrants, and nobody knows where they are. But I'll have more to say after we read this. Let's go over here. All right, here we go. Let's read this. This is from BBC. Let's see when it came out. This was printed November the 26th. After the election, Donald Trump at this time is the president-elect. Okay? This was printed in November 26th of 2024. It says, are 300,000 migrants missing in the U.S.? So let's go see what it says here. It says, Donald Trump's incoming border czar, Tom Homan, has said that the U.S. government can't find more than 300,000 migrant children, and that many have been lured into forced labor and sex trafficking. President-elect Donald Trump and his political allies, including Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, have reportedly made similar claims. Some experts have accused them of distorting statistics to suggest the children are lost and victims of crimes, although there is agreement that aspects of the system need to be changed, right? Yep, the system do need to be changed. The incoming administration has made immigration enforcement a priority, promising to clamp down on the U.S.-Mexico border and conduct mass deportations of the undocumented immigrants. And we know that's going on now, and ICE is going through hell about it, but they will not stop. Please understand, people, they will not stop. And if they need more forces, they will bring in more forces to get the job done. So if you all continue pushing against the ICE, the Immigrations Department, you all will see the consequences of such action. You need to be supporting them and letting them do what they do, period. They're just dealing with undocumented workers, and anybody undocumented, I would suggest that you just leave. Go get your $1,000 and get a ride back to the house. How about that? Let's continue. Let's take a look at the claims of missing migrant children. It goes down and says, what are the Trump team's claim? In an interview with Fox News on 26th of November, just before a visit to the U.S.-Mexico border in Texas, Homan accused the Biden administration of bragging about how quickly children are released from custody, as well as not properly vetting adult sponsors in the U.S. They're just giving them to people. Here you go. You need a couple? Here you go. How many you need? 10? That's what they're doing. Shame on them, he says. He said of the Biden administration. They have over 300,000 children that have been that they have released to unvetted sponsors that they can't find. Many are going to be in forced labor, many forced sex trade. Holman added, we need to save these children. And I got a question. Why isn't they talking about this? The Democrats, they say that they care so much about the immigrants. You don't care nothing about the children? This is real, you all. This is real. Let's continue. In his October debate against Minnesota Governor Tom Walz, J.D. Vance also said that the Department of Homeland Security effectively lost a total of 320,000 migrant children. He did that at the debate. Did anybody fact check? Did anybody come back and say he was lying? No. Come on, people. Concerns over the plight of migrant children were also starkly highlighted earlier this week when authorities in Texas shared an image of a 2-year-old girl from El Salvador found at the border clutching a piece of paper with a phone number. 2 years old. That's sad. Putting optics over safety has led to countless children in danger and unaccounted for. Tennessee Republican Representative Mark Green told the New York Post. This refusal to protect vulnerable alien children from abuse, exploitation, and from trafficking will be one of the defining features of the Biden-Harris administration. Oh yeah, they're going to go down in history. Their failures, defining one of their defining failures, period. Are the children actually missing? Check out the report. According to immigration experts and attorneys, the claims largely stem from an August report from the Department of Homeland Security Inspector General's office, which found that 32,000 unaccompanied minors failed to show up for court dates at immigration courts from 2019 to 2023. Okay? The report noted that 291,000 migrants received no court notices at all. It also called on the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, to take immediate action to ensure the safety of unaccompanied migrants, children in the U.S. And I'm just going to stop right there. By their own record, 291,000 have been taken into custody. Basically, 323,000. 32,000 have not even showed up for their court dates. Where are they? I see Little List was doing Trump's years, but the COVID hit too, so I don't know what was happening there. But what happened by you open up the border? What happened? Trump got out of office within the next 2 years. He was out of office by 2021. We had COVID all of 2020. So what happened, Biden? It's on you. The ball was put in your court, and the 291,000 was not on Trump's watch. It was on Joe Biden's watch. Let's go and see. Let's go and see what Brother Holman, Tom Holman, what does he have to say about what has taken place here? Let's go see what he has to say about it. Let's see, get some of his words.
Out of the 300,000 children, I looked at the numbers just yesterday. We've located over 23,000 of them. So 23,000 locations of the 300,000. Well, President Trump's committed. We're not going to stop till we find every one of them, or at least run every lead down on those 300,000 children. That's a big plus for the administration, because the last administration wasn't even looking for them.
Wow, they weren't even looking for them. Wow. And they even found 23,000 just this year. Less than a year's time, they found 23,000 of them. We don't know what the conditions are. We don't know any of that. But let's land this plane with this right here. Let's listen to Holman talk to them on Face the Nation. Let's see this.
Well, let's talk about what's happening on the interior. On Friday, there were 3 American citizen children born here who were deported along with their mothers from Louisiana down to Honduras. And according to advocates, one of them is a 4-year-old child with stage 4 cancer, a rare form of metastatic cancer, who was sent back to Honduras without getting to talk to a doctor and without medication. I understand this child's mother entered this country illegally, but isn't there some basis for compassionate consideration here that should have allowed for more consultation or treatment?
Well, it certainly is discretion. I'm not aware of the specific case, but no U.S. citizen child was deported. Deported means you got to be reported by the immigration judge. We don't deport U.S. citizens.
The mother was deported along with the children.
The children aren't deported. The mother chose to take the children with her. Now, when you enter the country illegally and you know you're here illegally and you choose to have a U.S. citizen child, that's on you. That's not on this administration. If you choose to put your family in that position, that's on them. But having a U.S. citizen child after you enter this country legally is not a get-out-jail-free card. It doesn't make you immune from our laws. If that's the message we send to the entire world, women are going to keep putting themselves at risk to come to this country. We send a message. You can enter the country legally, which is a crime. That's okay. You can have due process, great taxpayer expense, get ordered moved. That's okay. Don't leave. But have a U.S. citizen child and you're immune from removal, that's not the way it works.
So you don't think there should be...
And what he's saying there, I think he's going to say it. The mother chose to take her child with her because she couldn't stay. We could keep the child, but the mother could not stay. It's just that simple. Whether you like it or not, as Trump have said in the past, if you don't like some things, change the laws. That's what Congress is for. And that's what the Democrats could have done while they had the office for 4 years, and they didn't.
Compassionate consideration for a 4-year-old child undergoing treatment for cancer?
I didn't say that. I said
that was a question.
ICE officers do have discretion.
Yeah.
ICE officers do have discretion. I'm not familiar with the specific case. I don't know what facts surround this case. I've just made aware of this when you mentioned this morning. I was not aware of that case.
On Friday, a federal judge who was appointed by President Trump said a 2-year-old American citizen child had been sent to Honduras with the mother who was deported. But the judge said, quote, there was no meaningful process. So again, this is another similar situation and dynamic. Shouldn't there be special care when these deportation cases involve small American-born children?
Well, first of all, I disagree with the judge. There was due process. That female had due process at great taxpayer expense and was ordered by the immigration judge after those hearings. So she had due process. Again, this is parenting 101. And you can decide to take that.
That's the problem. Even if they get due process, This lady is sitting up here saying, although the courts said she must go. Now I guess you want Holman and ICE and the president to defy the law. Which one is it, people? There is no compassion when it comes to law. There could be a little bit, but the law is the law. Only way you get compassion at is time. But if you've been ordered to be deported, everybody's hands is tied. You need to be deported. And that is the job of ICE, okay? To deport those who have been deemed deportable, period, and have been given an order from a court to be deported. It's that simple.
A child with you, or you can decide to leave the child here with a relative or another spouse. Having a U.S. citizen child doesn't make you immune from our laws of the country. American families get separated every day by law enforcement, thousands of times a day. When a parent gets put in jail, the child can't go with them. These, if you're an illegal alien, come to this country and you decide to have a U.S. citizen child, that's on you. You put yourself in that position.
Well, when it came to this particular case, you just pointed out that they could have made arrangements. The father tried actually to make arrangements, as we understand it through our reporting. But he and the mother, who were separated since she was in detention after showing up for her appointment, was only allowed a very brief phone call. The father tried to petition to get the child handed over to an American citizen relative. So the mother had to make this decision and took the child with her. It just seems like there could be some more time frame here around due process allowed. That's what the judge is saying there should have been more of a process here.
There was due process.
The judge had told him to kick her out. She got to go. Her and her husband is separated. The husband is telling the mama and telling the system, oh, I got somebody to leave my child with. You think that mama's going to say, okay, no, come on, mamas. You know better. That woman was saying, if I can't say my child ain't staying, my child is going with me. Her and the father are separated. So what else the mama gonna do? She's not worried about what he's saying. She ain't worried about what that man is saying, what the daddy's saying. She with her child. And she's got to go, her child is going with her. It's that simple. And she's had all of the due process that is required. And they're still searching, still digging, still keeping bullshit going.
The 2-year-old baby was left with the mother because the mother signed a document requesting her 2-year-old baby go with her. That's the parent's decision. I don't think the judge knows specifics of this case. 2-year-old went with the mom. The mom signed a paper saying, I want my 2-year-old to go with me. That's a parent's decision. It's not a government decision. It's a parent's decision.
The father wrote a note. Anyhow, we have to leave it there. Director, thank you for your time today. We'll be right back.
So that's it. That's it. This is what's happening. But are you all familiar with this? Are you all familiar with 300,000 migrant minors being missing? But these people are out here causing all of this havoc with ICE. Who is thinking about these babies? Who is thinking about these young children who can be in forced labor, slave labor, who can be forced into sex trafficking? Who's thinking about these people, these children? Not the Democrats. Not the Democrats. They don't give a damn. They don't even want what they want. They just want us confused. All right, now we're going to get into Miss Jasmine Crockett and see some of the things that she's saying and how she talks out of both sides of her neck. Let's check her out here. Let's check her out.
I think they all deserve to lose their seats. I mean, at the end of the day, we swear an oath to the Constitution, and we swear to serve and to protect Americans. And right now, as you just had a conversation about this administration that is not attacking enemies, but has decided that it wanted to be an enemy towards its own American people, this is yet another attack on us. And what?
How's it attack on us? What they're doing right now, Miss Full of Crock, tell me how it's attack on us. What the administration is doing right now, how is it an attack on us? But we're about to expose you.
Type of precedent is it setting? What is it telling those that are suffering right now as victims as it relates to our elected officials? It says that so long as you have enough money and or power, then you will be protected and not the most vulnerable amongst us. We are talking about people that were children. You played a clip of Miss Farmer who talked about her as well as her sister that were abused in the 90s, and they reported this, and unfortunately nothing happened to the extent that we had survivors that were giving us testimony as late as 2008 when he was absolutely supposed to be incarcerated in Florida, yet he was still somehow managing to abuse women. We have to stand up. I don't know who's in these files. I don't know if they're Democrats, Republicans, or independents. I don't know if they're donors to any specific campaigns. I have no idea. And honestly, it just doesn't matter. What matters is about doing better for not only these women, but for future generations.
So she's talking about the Epstein files. She's talking about the release of the Epstein files. She's talking about the victims that go back as far as 1990. And they were telling people about their encounters with Epstein, things that they had been, unfortunately, victims of. And she talks about now all the Republicans now, wait a minute. Oh, now in Trump's White House today, in Trump's administration today, the Republicans today all need to lose their seats. But I have something here. As she says, it was open on Epstein. The case was open in 2005 about his misconduct, his misdeeds. 2005. He pled guilty in 2008 and did about 13 months and had an extensive work release. During that time period, yes, who was in charge at that time? It was Bush. It was Bush. Obama took over in 2009 is when he took over. But guess what? Obama had 8 years to deal with it. He didn't deal with it. He was arrested again during Trump's term in 2019. Trump had been in office technically 3 years, but all the hell people gave Donald Trump, all of the hell that they gave him his first, like they're doing him now. His first term was totally miserable. Totally. And he had a bunch of rhinos around him. He had a bunch of people that he didn't know. He was trying to follow the advice of those who he trusted, which he found out some of them, a lot of them he couldn't trust. And that's what he had to deal with for the first 3 years. But they wound up arresting him in July 6th of 2019. He was arrested for sex trafficking with minors in Florida. And guess what? About 35 days later, Epstein was dead. Then we had COVID. Then from COVID, we went to election. They claimed Trump lost. The Democrats took over in 2021. If anything, Miss Full of Crock, every last one of you should have been lost your seats because you did nothing about it. But now you're outraged today? Now you're outraged. They talk to you people like you're stupid, like you cannot go and find out what was happening. So he was dead since 20 19. You're telling me from 2021 to 2024, you could not release those files? The files didn't change. But you didn't do that because you knew they had nothing about Donald Trump in them that was worth anything. I don't care how many times they say he was mentioned, but those times he was mentioned, it added up to nothing. It added up to bullshit. That's the bottom line. It added up to bullshit, and you could not do nothing with it. But why wouldn't you release them? Like she just said, I don't know if it's Democrat, Republicans, Independent. I don't know who's in there. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But you don't want it released. Now it's being released. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. Let's look at some more crap of hers.
Representative Jasmine Crockett from Texas.
Thank you so much, Madam Ranker, and thank you so much to our witnesses for being here today. You know, I've sat and I've listened, and what my colleague, Mr. Krishnamurthy, just talked about was just blatant racism. Like, I'm gonna just call a thing a thing. Like, this administration is racist. That he has always been a racist, and that is what we are enduring in this country. Let me give you some facts behind this racism. And they get mad when I say the things that I say, but I will not stop speaking.
Because you full of shit. Because you full of shit. Ain't about getting mad. Why do you lie? Why do you lie and blow smoke up the American people's ass? Why do you do that, Jasmine? Why do you do that?
The truth. Number one, I said that what we were experiencing in this country felt like what I would imagine slave patrols to look like. And frankly, anybody that knows anything about slave patrols, this is exactly what it was like. We're talking about...
Wait a minute. She said she didn't know what slave patrol looked like, but when you look at it, this is exactly what... Listen at her talk. Ooh, I want to say something. She just talked out of both sides. She didn't know, but now telling you this is just what it looks like. This, she's a piece of work.
Lawless people that are going around with no warrants or anything, and it's all about rounding people up and disappearing them. That is what's currently taking place. And interestingly enough, even though modern day policing was born out of slave patrols, when I was speaking with one of my friends who is a federal law enforcement officer, he told me that one of the things that he has observed is that the culture is created at the top. And when I think about it, it absolutely makes sense. If you have somebody at the top that will not tolerate the types of things that we're seeing, then maybe those under you won't do it. But we know that we have a racist at the top. He has called himself the head law enforcement agent in this country, and therefore everybody has decided that it is okay to take off their hoods and mask up as ICE agents. Now,
I hope you all go and look at my one podcast that I did here, a couple of ones earlier, where I say the Trump you may not know. Go look at that. Just go look at that. These people are just, it's almost not words. You wonder why I use, curses, they say. Because how can you look at this bullshit and not? I know you probably can, but this is bullshit that they doing to the American people. Total bullshit. Donald Trump is not a racist, and I'm a staunch Trump supporter, being 69 years old. And anybody want to sit down and talk with me, I'll make you look stupid, trying to make him look like a racist, period. He is about this country. He is about America and us having the life which America had become and is wanting to afford everybody. Why do you think everybody's still trying to come to this country, people? This racist, good for nothing, just for the billionaire country. But overall, it is those that we've been following for the past 50 years, yes. But Donald Trump, he's not one of them.
Talked about how they have hidden themselves, but again, it reminds me of the Klan. That is why I proposed the Clear ID Act to make them identify themselves, because it is dangerous for law enforcement as well as individuals.
Now, they want ICE to identify themselves. Do you understand what they've been doing to them? Doxing them. Do you know what doxing is? Doxing means that they get your information and they put it out that these ignorant people can go out and go to your place of residence, place of wherever, and harass you, even do some harm to you. Period. And these are the things that they're doing. No, hey, I want them with the mask on. Hey, get Antifa to take their mask off. Get these people that protest to take their mask off. Period. I think if you come out there and protest, you shouldn't have a mask on. How about that? If you come out there and protest, you should not have a mask on. What are you hiding? Aren't you there for legitimate reasons? Aren't you there to peacefully protest? If you're there, what do you need a mask on for? Because you're up to no good. That's why you got mask on, because you're up to no good. Keep your mask on, ICE, and your identity private.
Because you don't know, especially with ICE going around and doing the things that thugs do. They're busting out windows, they're breaking into homes, they're breaking people's arms. This doesn't sound like law enforcement. It sounds like thuggery to me. But just like you can have somebody at the top that sets the tone for ugliness going down, you guys are blessed, because in the city of Chicago, you have a mayor. You have a mayor that has decided that he will not back down. He will not bend to this administration. And instead, he will stand up for the people. You have a man of valor that is going up against a villain. And I think that we have to make sure, especially while we're in his city, that we recognize his leadership, because it is invaluable.
Let's go and look at this man that she's bragging on. You all need to go do a study on the people of Chicago who's calling for Donald Trump to send the National Guards to clean up the crime in their communities. They're begging him to come, but they won't let you see that. But let me just show you a little something here. This is the one. He's for the people. He's for the people. Mr. Asshole Brandon Johnson is for the people. Let's see how much he's for the people. She just bragged on him, huh? She just bragged on Brandon Johnson. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here.
Joining us now for a reaction, Chicago resident and from the group Chicago Red that aims to turn Illinois into a Republican state.
Ooh.
Member P. Ray Easley. P. Ray,
Ooh.
you know, these Democrats in the state of Illinois, they're such a bunch of phonies. They talk about affordability. They attack Trump on things like inflation.
And here's what I want y'all to see. Look at the diversity here. Look at the diversity here. And all these people is hating on the mayor of Chicago. Look like whites, Hispanics, blacks. Come on. All joined together to come against this administration being the government of Chicago, the mayor and his cronies, and also the governor of Illinois. Please, people, stop it. They gaslighting you.
that he inherited from Biden. And then they're jacking up everybody's taxes in Chicago and Illinois, doubling and tripling the property taxes. I mean, Illinois voters already paid the second highest property tax rate in the United States behind New Jersey.
It's actually right in line with what the Democrats were doing. The reason that our property taxes have gone up astronomically is because of the legislation that's coming out of the Illinois State House, specifically the Safety Act, that has made us a lot less safe. We have billionaire philanthropists like Ken Griffin, who, by the way, we miss you, Ken, come home, but he took his business, the Citadel, out of Chicago. He himself was paying $200 million a year in taxes. So when we have companies like the Citadel and Boeing and Caterpillar who are leaving our downtown, now we have a higher vacancy rate, and those commercial taxes are being shifted onto the homeowners.
So does Mayor Johnson, does Pritzker see that they're losing businesses because they're so backwards with their tax structure? I mean, for example, Cook County in Illinois, it's among the nation's most expensive for property taxes. Property taxes there, it's more than what the typical homeowner in California's Orange County or LA County or San Diego County pay. I mean, so, and it's now turning into a ghost town for businesses in Illinois with how they're just so flawed in how they're approaching the tax structure.
So the issue is that we don't have enough commercial businesses paying property taxes. And those commercial businesses that are downtown are able to take advantage of tax reassessments. So then that lowers their tax contribution by 20%. And then again, that all gets shifted onto the taxpayer. We are dealing with Democratic progressive failure here in the city of Chicago, and today is the day that the bill has come due. We cannot afford the migrants, and we definitely cannot afford to continue to victimize villains at the expense of the business community that then pushes that onto the homeowners.
P. Ray Easley, I'm so sorry you guys are enduring this. P. Ray Easley from Chicago Red, thank you so much. It's good to see you back on the show.
So yeah, now there you go. I'm gonna end it right here on that one. I had another one, but I'm really trying to cut my my videos down. I don't want them to be too long. I don't want to bore you too long. But we're going to be dealing with things like this. As you see, 300,000 immigrants, minors are missing. And the Democrats aren't saying anything about it. Even some of the Republicans aren't. But the Democrats don't want you to know that there's over 300,000 missing children, immigrants that came across the border during Biden-Harris term in office. And as you see, this asshole here, this full of CROCK, Jasmine, is just blowing smoke up your ass and gaslighting you. That's all she's doing. That's her job. They gave it to her, and it's time to stand up against that type of gaslighting. It's time. It's time for the truth to come out there. It's time for people to be exposed. I feel like Cat Williams. Hey, it's time for people to be exposed. It's time for things to come out. And guess what? If you take it like that, you take it like that. So I hope that you've learned something from this, that you've gotten information that you didn't have before. And I pray that you do your diligence and go out and find out what these people are truly saying to you, that you can go out there and make right choices and your voting and your decision making for you and your family. Till next time, love you all. Be kind to one another and continue to love on one another. Peace.